Hi there, folks. Simmon here with another Intermediate Invitational Tournament match. This time, the Game 3 between ManaT and gowellja. Gowellja in white and ManaT in black. This is part of the 4-game series in this semifinals match. Whoever wins this 4-game series does go on to the finals and plays Pluto the Brave. If they split 2 games to 2 games in this 4-game series, they will play a tiebreaker game, which is shorter time controls and with 3 Comey to black. And they will decide between themselves who gets what color, and if they can't agree on that, then they will flip a coin and pick a random color. But let's not get into that now. We don't even know if that's going to happen yet. So let's get right into Game 3 of this semifinals match. All right, here is Game 3 of gowellja versus ManaT in the Intermediate Invitational Tournament. Gowellja in white, ManaT in black. Looks like we've got adjacent corners here because ManaT is in black, so he's deciding to go adjacent. Gowellja typically goes for that opposite corners. We are seeing this standard mirrored opening for the 6x6 size. I talk about that mirrored opening in the openings video of TAC University. We do see ManaT coming out with that capstone pretty early here. Again, another standard defense to this mirrored opening. This is where white typically does something to go off the grain, maybe play here at c2 and start going for that horizontal threat. Looks like he does go for that. Changing directions here does help keep this capstone from coming in and interrupting all those threats immediately. Black now building across, ready to kind of take this either down or across, building in both ways. We did see ManaT and gowellja each split their first 2 games, winning as white, each player. All right, now we see white does have momentum still, is building across for this horizontal road. Black can make that decision to finally come over with this capstone. Or maybe build down here, something like that. So he's building here. We may see white decide to play here at e4, which would continue the road threat. And that would maintain that momentum for white. Black, interestingly, wanting to keep this capstone right here. White could decide to move this flat over, perhaps, and kind of try to isolate that capstone a little bit, but hasn't gone for that yet. White trying to decide now probably whether they should play at e4 or maybe above or even down here below. Goes for the capstone placement, a very defensive move here. This is a solid capstone placement, though, as it does work offensively and defensively for him. It really does tick a lot of the boxes for those general guidelines for how to place your capstone, which we talked about in the TAC University capstones video. So white's capstone is primed here in a pretty solid position. Can't be isolated. It's in a generally central area, and it can connect to their own pieces by capturing onto opponents. So it's solid position here. Black deciding to build across, trying to take that momentum away from white by coming across with this capstone probably on the next turn to interrupt that threat and also make his own. Does go for that after white captures on. Now this is where white likely will capture down, does decide to capture down onto c3. Now, black could play up here and does go for that play at c4, trying to keep white from making that connection up above. A b4 placement or a d5 placement here would make a lot of sense for black. But we may see white decide to play off to the side here at e4 on the next turn, or maybe here at b4. It looks like they're going for this horizontal threat this way, or could be deciding to go for the vertical. Playing here, interestingly enough, I'm not sure I get that. Maybe they're planning to play on f2 on the next turn, which would be attack threat, which would basically continue that momentum for white and keep black responding instead of making their own threats and their own initiative. So black now a little bit on the back foot, trying to figure out what to do to respond to all of these moves that white is bringing out here. Black building up at the top. We do see that f2 placement ready for that. Capture down from e3 down is going to be a road, so black's going to have to do something about that. Likely with e2 to the right, or moving the capstone, maybe one of these flats. e2 to the right would be risky for later on. White is in a pretty solid position here. Black does go for e2 left instead, and that seems to go along with this vertical alignment he's got going on here a little bit. And then white immediately playing up at d6, ready to cut off that vertical threat that black is trying to build towards, and also working towards their own vertical threat along this line as well. Both players pretty intertwined here, very close together, as you see in a lot of these more experienced players' games. You don't want to separate too much of your line from your opponent, because then you won't be able to interrupt their threats. Black now building off to the side here, I guess ready to come over and capture onto c5 to continue this threat vertically. White now building down below at c1, also ready to continue vertically, but c1 is nice too because you can build down along the bottom for that horizontal threat. So I would still say that white is pretty strongly in the lead here, and black's going to have to do something clever to stop that. Now we may see a self-capture here pretty soon by this capstone coming down onto d2. I feel like that would be a pretty strong move, because you'd be able to take that capstone stack and spread it across for a +3 flat count differential move. And positive flat count differentials in general, we talk about those in the flat count differential move, in the flat count differential video, sorry, on TAC University. So you can find out about that there. This is a tack threat from white, ready to capture over with d6 to the left. Now, I would not be surprised to see c6 come down here, or b5 come right, or even d5 come up. Any of those would be viable. Same with d5 coming left. All of those would cut this off. I don't think we'll see anything like d2 left or any of that, but something's going to happen up here. Does go for that b5 to the right. This is a tack threat for black now. Black placing at d4 would be a road, so white's going to have to do something. Didn't do it, missed the road. So ManaT's going to pick up the win here on d4 with that flat. Just an oversight there for gowellja. Just did not see it, wasn't thinking about that b5 to the right move actually making a tack threat, was only thinking about his own threats. So just really, that's got to be painful. That's got to hurt. I can't imagine that he is feeling too happy about missing that threat just now. That means that ManaT wins game 3, and gowellja needs to win game 4 as black if he wants to stay in this tournament. He'll have to win that as black and then win the tiebreaker game. That is the end of this game for today. Be sure to tune into the next video to check out game 4 between ManaT and gowellja, this time with ManaT as white and gowellja as black. And again, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description at the bottom of this video to see all the TAC resources that we have available to us, including the playtac.com website where you can play folks online. Also, the rules for the game so you can learn it. Check out the videos on my channel for how to play TAC. Check out the subreddit. Especially check out the TAC Discord server, which is the community hub. It's where everybody goes to talk about TAC, find players to play with, where we organize all these tournaments and everything. It's all on that TAC Discord. That is the place to be. If you're unfamiliar with Discord, Discord is a audio and text chatting web application and mobile application, and it's super easy to use, doesn't cost a thing, and you don't even have to download anything if you don't want to. Thanks for checking it out, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.